You're listening to the Retina UK Talking Travel Peer Support Group recorded Thursday, the 23rd of July 2026.
So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to the Retina UK Talking Travel Local Group, Thursday the 23rd of July 2026. So for those that don't know me, my name's Rachel Zimbler and I'm the co-facilitator of this group. And I'm living with Bardet-Biedl syndrome, which is a rare inherited condition. And I'll pass to my co-facilitator.
Hello everyone, I'm Richard Zimbler. I also co-facilitate the Talking Travel local group, and I also have Bardet-Biedl syndrome, and I've been living up permanently in the Northwest now for 2 years in September this year. And so I just now like to pass to Laura Cross, who's going to tell us all about the services that she is doing with guide dogs. So just like to say thank you very much for coming on tonight, Laura, to give up your time to tell us all about what you do. So over to you.
Thank you so much. It's great to join such a lively Zoom call. I really appreciate that. Some of the ones that work in the day are definitely a little bit quieter than yours, so it's lovely to meet you all. So thank you so much for having me today. My name's Laura Cross. I am a Vision Rehabilitation Service Manager based in the Northwest region of guide dogs. I actually do cover the Shrewsbury office most of the time, but we all get around a little bit. So I wanted to join today to update you on some we think it's exciting news that Guide Dogs is now going to be offering rehabilitation in a short-term program for people. So I'm sure many of you will know that historically Guide Dogs has always offered rehabilitation services for people who are applying for a guide dog. So what we've recognised over the last few years is that more and more people, unfortunately, are having to wait a long time for rehabilitation from local authorities. Appreciate it's a bit of a postcode lottery sometimes. Some local authorities are marvellous and have very short waiting lists, but the reality is that lots of our local authorities have waiting lists that can be 18 months, 2 years, which is a long time for somebody to wait for the support that they need. So in Guide Dogs, after recognising this, what we have decided to do is introduce an option for people where you can apply to Guide Dogs for short-term rehabilitation. Now, we've deemed this as short-term, well aware that we do not want to take away from the statutory duties that the local authority has. Obviously, if we were to do that, that would mean less funding from central government. So we're very aware that that is not something that we want to encourage to happen. But we do want to make sure that people are getting the support when they need it. So Guide Dogs is actually one of the largest employers of vision rehabilitation specialists. I know they're called different things in different areas, rehab officers, ROVs. But as Guide Dogs is one of the largest employers, we do have some capacity across the whole of Guide Dogs, so that's the whole of the UK, including Scotland, Ireland and Wales, to provide rehab for people in our local communities. So what we would like to offer to everybody, and this is why I've joined today to tell you about it. So we're wanting to shout about it, we're wanting to publicise it, is that we will provide that support for anybody with non-correctable sight loss. So you do not have to be registered. You can come to us and get that support that you need. As I've already mentioned, this is across all of the guide dog team, so this is a national offer. What we're looking to provide within that offer is advice, assessment, short-term rehab around orientation and mobility. We can provide tech support. We can provide independent living skills. Can also help people around registering, for example, if they're newly diagnosed with sight loss, and also ensure that they have the right referrals to either the local authority or other organisations in the area that can help. And part of that will always be advice around equipment support as well for people and what's the best thing for them to have. Just want to give you a quick couple of examples of things that we've done recently with people. Obviously very aware this is anonymous, so I won't be giving too many details. But we recently had a lady whose job it was to do guided tours in her local community. Unfortunately, she very quickly lost sight in one eye, so wasn't actually eligible for services from the local authority. So she came to us and asked for support. What we were able to do was work with her to look at the routes that she was taking around her local community on these guided tours. We were able to give her advice and some guidance around maybe possibly better routes to use, better areas to access to help her to get around and to help her to continue to lead these tours, which was obviously something that was really important to her. It was her day job, bread and butter, if you like. We've also recently just helped a gentleman who was diagnosed in 2024. He'd gone away he was sat on the local authority waiting list, still hasn't been seen by the local authority, but he'd gone and bought himself a cane from Amazon, and the cane wasn't appropriate. He was desperately trying to get across a very busy train crossing in his local area to get to his local shop. So within that short-term offer, what we did was we helped him find a way that he could navigate over that train crossing safely to his local shop while he waits for those services from the local authority. He doesn't want a guide dog, but might come back to us in the future for one. So we feel that those interventions have been really positive for those two people, just allowing them to continue to do the things that they wanted to do, one while waiting for support, and the other lady wasn't unfortunately eligible. So what we would like to achieve by offering this as well is also to gather information from the support that we deliver around waiting lists in local authorities. The idea is that hopefully we can then approach local authorities if somebody is with us and needs further help beyond our short-term offer. We would then like to start contacting local authorities directly and offering spot purchase for us to do that long-term work with people. So ultimately, it would be great if we could get more contracted work from local authorities to support with their waiting lists. And ultimately, the aim is to provide the level of support that people need when they need it. But obviously appreciate that that has to be short-term in the interim period unless we can get that funding from local authority. So it's very easy to refer through to guide dogs. People can self-refer. We can call our guideline number. I'll just give you that number so everybody's got it because I'm aware it's being recorded. So that is 0800 781 1444. There's also a contact form on our website. So the website contains our guideline number, but there's also a contact form on there that can be completed by anybody. So it can be completed by somebody that needs a service or a professional that might be involved with that person. All you need to do is ask for our rehab service. So we can also provide things under our quick wins scheme as well. So it might be that somebody gives us a call. They don't actually need somebody to, go out and give them or have an assessment or anything like that. They just need some quick things to help them out. So we have our quick wins where we would refer people out to other organisations, just give that advice and support when needed. But part of our short-term offer is that we will complete a vision rehabilitation assessment for somebody. So this assessment hopefully will be designed, it is designed already, but people can use it in any way that they would like to. So for example, if somebody needs support to apply for benefits, hopefully this assessment will be able to support them to do that. If they want to share that assessment with the local authority, that may be a way for them to access support that way as well. This is a very new thing that we've launched at Guide Dogs. It only started in June of this year. So it's very much in its infancy and we are still welcoming feedback from anybody about this service. It will be growing and developing over the years, and we obviously are monitoring it as we go. So I've given you sort of an overview at the moment, but I wondered if anybody had any sort of questions to delve a bit deeper into that. I'm happy to answer any questions.
That's great. Thank you very much for that. That was a great lot of information to share with us. Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask?
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Kasia. I don't know how to raise my hand. I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
I'm not asking this for myself, but I recently met someone whose dad, he's elderly and he's losing his eyesight due to age-related macular degeneration. Um, I think he also has another condition which makes his speech very limited. Would he be entitled to that support?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody with non-correctable sight loss can come through to us for help and advice. It doesn't matter whether they are a young person or whether they're over 100 years old. It's absolutely fine. We'll work with anybody. We've recently had a gentleman who was receiving palliative care. And we've been in and helped him with some technology so he's able to use his phone using speech functions. So anybody is eligible.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I think Kim's got her hand up.
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
Does that also apply to Northern Ireland?
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Thanks so much.
no problem.
I've got a question to ask. It's Joy Stanton. You just started this. How long do you think you're going to have the funding to continue it?
So we are looking at different funding streams to help support this. So what we would like to do is also expand our reach in regards to the contract work that we do. So that's another part of what we do. I've talked a little bit about when people come through and we're particularly working with one individual and potentially approaching a local authority for some spot purchase support for that individual, which we would be happy to provide. But we have got a big piece of work around approaching local authorities on contract work. So we would be looking to do that to bring in that additional funding to support with this.
How are you going to make sure you're not competing with the social services, what they provide? Because they keep cutting the money.
Yes, yeah. So it is something that we're very aware of. The fact that we do not want to do that and in turn produce further cuts. So we are very aware, and that is why we have initially pitched it as this short-term support. So we wouldn't be expecting people to be, sort of returning lots of times for us. So that short-term support turns into essentially long-term support for lots of different things. So it is going to be a bit of a case of sort of monitoring it and see how we go with things, really. But I suppose with any service, that you introduce that is new, it's one of those things. It's either do you front load it at the start with staff and resources, or do you start the ball rolling and see how it goes? So we do have a monitoring group set up that meets every fortnight to monitor referrals that are coming in, the cost of the service. So we're very aware of that and we are keeping close tabs on it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Joy. Has anyone else got any questions they want to wave?
Yeah, I have. Sorry, I can't find my hand up.
No,
So
that's fine,
it's
Sharon.
Sharon.
Go ahead.
Hiya.
Hi.
I live on my own, and at the moment I live independently, but my eyesight's deteriorating. So how basic will your assessment be? Because I would be interested to know just day-to-day living. I mean, like reading instructions on a tin drives me bananas because I can't, because it's so small.
Yeah.
So you would do, and would you, if you help with that, would you also guide me to any local charities within my region? Okay.
Yeah, of course. So the assessment, our Vision Rehabilitation Assessment is a modular assessment. So when I say that, we have a, if you like, it is a big form when it's all together in one thing, but we have different areas of that form that can be completed depending on what that person wants. So it's very person-centered in that way.
Okay.
We won't sit you down for hours and hours and make you tell us your whole life story. We come in and we very much look at what you would like to focus on. So it might be really useful to, if it's independent living skills, we would just come in and we would focus on that. All the things that can help and support you. Part of any of our interventions is always to look at what's in people's local communities that can support. So we would always give advice and information on those services that are local to you as well.
Thank you. And on your website, is it just we put guide dogs and it will come up with it?
Yeah. If you
okay.
just type guide dogs into Google and it should be the first thing that pops up.
Lovely. Thank you.
Anyone else want to wave their hands for a question? No, I don't think anyone's waving at me. Please feel free to speak up if I'm missing you, though.
I think we're...
I say everyone's very quiet.
Yes.
That's good. That means the information that they've received, they're processing it, and I think it's great that you've shared the telephone number, and people have got the website, and they can come back to you. Sometimes a week later you think of a question, don't you, that bugs you, so they can just ring you or
Yeah, certainly. If anyone wants to call me anytime, you can call Guideline and ask to be put through to me. I am off for the next couple of weeks from Friday on holiday, but I'm happy to take calls anytime. Yeah, so that's not a problem at all. Just come through to Guideline and ask to be put through to me.
Just one question, Laura. I've got one.
Yeah.
If we often come across community that are living maybe on their own in very remote areas, like Cornwall, Dorset, Devon, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Is geography ever be a limitation for this scheme? Will you be able to reach anybody anywhere with it?
Yeah. No.
Including Scotland as well, as we do know that people are quite remote up there as well.
Yeah, we will reach absolutely anybody wherever they are. That is not a problem. Our VRS team are very used to covering multiple miles to go and see people, so not a problem at all.
That's really reassuring. Thank you. Thank you very much. Richard, Rachel, do you have any questions for Laura?
No, I was going to ask how long's the project for, but someone's already asked that question. So, and I take it like with the skills and stuff. So if you were like needing technology or cooking or anything like that, they can help with all that.
Yep, so they're all trained in using Android and iPhones. There is other multiple technologies that they've been using and are used to using. So our Vision Rehabilitation Specialists are highly trained across technology and will be happy to help. And if they don't know the answer, they will be very happy to go and find out the answer for you and come back with that information. So no stone will be left unturned.
Oh, that sounds great. It sounds really, really good.
Excellent. What we'll do is we will be sending out a follow-up email probably when I return from annual leave week after next. So if anyone does have any questions, please field them free to me. And what we'll do is we'll make sure all the information, just in case you wanted to contact Laura, or would it be the local representative in your area to find out more about this scheme. So all the information, email address, website, and the Guideline telephone number, and a little bit of an overview regarding this service will be in the follow-up email that we'll be sending out in just over a week's time.
That's brilliant. Rich, you anything?
No, it sounds really, really good. I think it's a really good thing to have, especially because if I'd been in the situation I was when I moved first up here to Stockport, then I would have probably taken up, because I had to wait a good chunk of time to get my rehab officers. So
Yeah.
it's going to be really helpful for areas that maybe only have like one Rovi for the area. So
yeah, definitely. And I think those people that often move house feel the isolated for the longest, because if you move somewhere where the local authority waiting list is very long, it's a long time before you're going to get the support that you need. So we would be very happy to support anybody that's just moved, and obviously have all of the local knowledge as well that we can pass on.
Sharon again, I also think as well, we're all at different stages of our disability and sight loss. So mine is just starting to be a hindrance, and I've had to give up work.
Yeah.
But it's reassuring that you've got one central organisation that's going to introduce a consistent approach. And I don't know what's out there, so that's the biggest minefield for me, because it's something I wasn't born with. I don't know what's available, so that's reassuring if you're going to cover daily living and technology as well. It's really good.
No problem.
It's Keith. I had blind dogs help me when I was first diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa.
Yeah.
And they were so excellent. They came round, I think they came round about 3 or 4 weeks on the trot to help to teach me, well, try and teach me how to cook safely. And there was so much information, and I thought, well, what are they going to tell me? You know, I know how to use a knife, I know how to use this, I know how to use an oven. But there was lots of information that they gave me that I'd never even thought about. So, yeah, well done. Brilliant.
Thank you, Keith. It's nice to hear that you benefited from the service.
Thanks, Keith. That's lovely feedback.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's lovely feedback, Keith. Thank you.
If would you like to if you need to shoot off, Laura, or feel free to stick around for the rest of the meeting. It's entirely up to you. But thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, and just know that we're all available and at any point, and people can always go through to their local manager in their team as well. So if for some reason I'm not available, the local manager in your team will always be available. So any questions at any time, just get in touch. But I'll leave you to the rest of your meeting. But I thank you for having me today.
You're welcome, Laura.
Thank you very much.
Thank you ever so much, Laura. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So now it's open to you guys. So I think before, was it yourself, Veronica? You were asking about airport assistance. Want to share or say anything?
Well, airport assistance, I'm sure, like yourself, many of us, it's been good when it's worked, and many times, unfortunately, it's not good. I don't know the answer to this. And I'm in the back of my mind, what I am thinking, which perhaps is a little bit over the top, but if Retina UK, the RNIB, and many, many other agencies were to set up some kind of campaign, because being vulnerable in an airport is a nightmare.
And I think it's down to, is that your do you fly from a specific airport? Is that in relation to that, or would you say that's in general across all the airports you might have used?
I fly from Edinburgh, and you never know until you get there. You never know when you've had your assistance. Will you get to the aircraft in time? You don't know. They leave you, and hopefully they'll come back. Unfortunately, they don't always. Many times the people are great, but it's the times that the assistance is really poor that it's enough to put you off traveling. And I like traveling. I have family who live abroad. I want to go and see them, spend time with them. But when I get to the airport, the stress comes.
Yeah, it's that daunting, that anxiety, the stress.
Yeah.
You know, you want to go on holiday and have a great time, don't you? You don't want to have all that before you've even got on a plane.
No, and every time I've been on a plane, whichever airline I've been with, the airline crew are great. They make sure you're okay. It's the airport authorities or the specific airports who deal with the assistance. And they're not. The last time I fly out of Edinburgh, as I said, the young man who was excellent, he said, no, they can't get people to do the job because the pay is so bad. There's a lot of things wrong here. And it's not only people with sight problems. I've come through the airports with people on all various mobility problems. And it is so stressful. What I find, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but what I find is when they say, can you walk down the stairs? Shock horror. all I see is this slope. I can't make it down the stairs. So I've sat on the aircraft for about an hour at one point, and I had to wait for the lift to come. It's just that they are my experiences, and I'm sure many of us have had good and bad experiences, and the bad really make it difficult for hoping to fly away.
Yeah. I don't know if they may be in your area, some of the sightless councils that work with and that are funded through Thomas Pocklington Trust, they, in their areas, they actually work with the airports and they have access.
Oh, right.
They have access for them, so I don't know. There is groups in Scotland, isn't there, Rich?
Yeah, there's what is there one in Edinburgh? Or is it Glasgow? I can't.
I'm not sure. And there's quite a few in Scotland. I'm not exactly sure where they are, but some of the sightless councils do work with the local airports, and if they're not, it's maybe something that could be suggested to them. And the only reason why I say that is we sit on the Greater Manchester Sightless Council, and we do work with Manchester Airport.
Yes.
Do you really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And I know
And it's John
Liverpool.
Pocklington. Sorry,
say
it's
that.
John Pocklington. It's John Pocklington
Yeah.
in
So
Scotland.
and they are in Scotland, the sightless councils. They've got them in Glasgow and Dumfries and Galloways. I'm not sure if they have one in Edinburgh, but it's something we can find out for you and feed it in and see whether or not that sightless council is working with the local airport. And if they're not, is it something that they need to go in and maybe do some access assessments, a bit of mystery shopping, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
That might be something that they could look into for you.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. I've just filled in a form, which for the Thomas Pocklington Trust. And they're gathering information at the moment on people's difficulties with travelling around to focus their future plans on. If you understand, it might be worth some of us trying to fill that in if we get on the website for the Thomas Pocklington Trust.
So what we can do, if you like, is it's currently listening month. So what you were talking about there, it's currently listening month.
Oh, yeah.
So what we can do, and we can, Mark doesn't mind, and Caroline, we can, it has been shared in other groups, but we could share the survey. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and it asks you things like bus travel, train travel, airport travel, taxis, street clutter, built environments, health, arts and culture, you name it. We know it. We've just done it without a couple of other groups that we sit on, and so it might be something that we can share it with you, Mark, can't we? And we could circulate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Funny enough, we actually had Thomas Pocklington Trust talk at our summer national peer support group meeting, and a chap called Eamon Dunn was talking, and we just recently have put out the audio recording and also the follow-up with all the information, and I'm pretty much sure that survey was included. But what we can do, if anyone does want to know more about Listening Month or would like to complete that survey, then just please drop me an email, and we'll ensure that we send that follow-up to you as well if you hadn't registered for last Thursday's meeting.
Yeah, I've just quickly gone onto the Thomas Pocklington website and found the link to the page that's got the survey on it. So I'm just going to pop it in the chat for now, just in case anyone can get access to the chat. But if not, we'll put that link in this follow-up email.
Thanks, Caroline. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. And it was also in, I see today that the Retina UK newsletter's just been circulated, and there was a piece in there. There was a piece in there about the Listening Month as well, from what I recall.
Correct, yes.
Well, great. Thank you. I'm glad I've raised the issue, and you've given me a lead as well.
No,
and I'll
I think
follow that up.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if, all the charities are trying to do the same thing, we're all working together to make the place more accessible for blind and partially sighted people. So if someone can help each other, if you don't know something, someone else something, let's share the information, because knowledge is power, isn't it?
Can I just quickly interrupt on sort of the same theme? I'm part of the European Guide Dogs Federation, and they're actually looking for assistance dogs and guide dogs and things like that, and how to make airports and flight better for guide dogs and assistance dogs too.
And that would be an assistant dog working within the airport?
Yes, yeah. The European Guide Dog Federation are looking into that and trying to make policies and things better to do with guide dogs and assistance dogs across Europe.
Yeah, that's really good to
Yeah.
hear. And also through the Get Set Progress scheme that Thomas Pockington run, they have internships. There is currently a vacancy at Manchester Airport for one of the internship jobs. And that's currently a recruitment opportunity that's out there at the moment for someone who is blind and partially sighted to work at Manchester Airport with their ABM and passenger assistance team. That is currently out there now. So it shows you that the councils are working together to try and help and support us a lot more.
Good. Any work that's going on is good.
Definitely, definitely.
And I'll certainly follow this up. And thank you for allowing me to ask the question.
Hey, that's what the group's here for. We're here to share. It's not my group, it's your group. So let's share information. So has anyone else got they've been on any good holidays or any tips, tricks, or anything they'd like to share with the group?
Yeah, Rose is waving her hand at us.
Yeah, carry on, Rose.
Yeah, hello. I'm very new to the group. This is the first time I've joined in. So the problem I'm having at the moment is mainly reading the departure boards and arrival, well, mainly departure boards at both railway stations and airports. And I wondered if anyone knows, is there any way of getting that information if you can't see the boards?
So do you use passenger assistance, Rose? Do you use the assistance?
No, I'm new to everything. I mean, at the moment my sight loss is not terrible, but it is getting worse, and it's got to the point where I can't see the departure boards anymore. If I go to, say, Liverpool Street Station or the airport, I can't see the boards, so that is difficult. And I don't know, I haven't heard of things like passenger assistance or whatever you're talking about.
Okay, so passenger assistance, you can either do it on the app or you can ring them. And basically you book assistance. So I'll give you an example. Today I've come home from Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I've come on the train on my own. So when I got to Liverpool train station, I made myself aware to the train station staff, and they then helped me to their assistance lounge. They have different lounges in different stations. And they then helped me onto the train to my seat. And then when I got to Stockport, a member of the passenger assistance team at Stockport helped me off the train and then helped me alight at the train station to get a taxi. And all you have to do is pre-book that service, and that's open. They can help you with your luggage. You have like drop downs, don't you, where you can put if you need a ramp. So if you've got a guide dog or you unsteady on your feet, you can have a ramp. You can have sighted guidance, you can have a wheelchair. If you go to London Euston, they bring the buggy to the train and zip you around London Euston. So yeah, we can share that information of whether you want to ring them or put the app on your device, whether you be Android or iPhone, etc., Apple devices. We can share that information with you as well.
The other thing you could do is like if you pre-booked, I don't know if you can do it with flights, but definitely with trains, if you pre-booked your tickets beforehand, like you may be using Trainline or Northern, like an app, obviously you know what time your trains are coming, so you're not going to need to look at the departure things. And when you've booked it through the app, say like Trainline, for example, which is the one I use, it will then tell you if there's a delay or a disruption or something, so you're not having to look at the board to find that information out. And it'll also tell you what platform your train's due on. So that and the assistance app that Rachel was just talking about, it's a real help.
And also
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Trainline will also email if there's a delay or disruption as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, I live in Essex and I have to go to Moorfields for checkups, but because I don't know what time I'm going to be looking for a train, so it's not something I would pre-book just to get back to somewhere in Essex. So,
so you can turn up to a station,
and I'm not like, sorry, I'm not sort of disabled physically in that I can still get around all right. It's just the basic stuff like looking at the boards and things like that.
Yeah.
Jeff here, can I come in on that?
Yeah, I was just going to say you can actually turn up to a station and not have pre-booked assistance. We did it the other week at Birmingham New Street, and we did have to wait to get assistance because we'd been to a conference and didn't know what time we were coming home.
Yeah.
And we just waited, and they did help us and support us.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry, do you want to come in?
Jeff here, can I come in on that?
Yeah, come in,
Yeah. So I'm totally blind. Otherwise I'm able-bodied. I'm all, no other disabilities.
Yeah.
I use Passenger Assist. It's brilliant. Right from when you turn up at the station, you're looked after till you leave the last station you're going to. And I used to go to conferences in London on my own as a blind person. Quite often, the person taking me out of the station would say, "Oh, it's just around the corner. I'll walk you around there," and take me around to the reception desk. And it works equally well on the Underground in London. I've not experienced other undergrounds, but it works equally. So it's brilliant. I absolutely love using Passenger Assist. The other thing I can draw your attention to is there's an app called Railboard, and it's actually the app for the National Train Inquiries.
Sorry, what was it called again?
Railboard, all one word.
Railboard.
It's the app for National Rail Inquiries. It's not a actual service, and that you can plan journeys. You can buy your tickets on it. You can show that you've got a disability rail pass and all that kind of thing. So you buy your tickets on it, and you can show the tickets to the ticket inspectors using your phone using it. But the other great thing about it is it's got, because it's Railboard, because it's the National Rail Inquiries, it's got a live feed to every board in every station in the country. So you can actually see any National Rail stations. You can see the live arrivals and departures on this app. It's absolutely fantastic.
That does sound good.
Yeah. So I'd highly recommend those things. They're absolutely brilliant. But buses are more fun. The driver's usually helpful, but they're there to drive the bus, not to help disabled people find where they need to go. So I still take buses. Buses are great. Of course, the best visual aids are other people. They're brilliant.
Yes.
Okay, that's all from me.
Thank you very much.
No, that's great. And when you're using, if you do go on holiday and you need special assistance at the airport, we've just been away recently from Manchester, and you know what? 10 out of 10 for the service. We had two members of staff. We had my mum and dad with us who were fully sighted. We went through the security lane. They helped us in duty free. They could not do enough for us, could they?
No.
Excellent. Yeah, that's encouraging. Thank you.
Hi, it's Joyce here.
When
I went to France a good few years ago, I went on the Channel train.
The Channel Tunnel.
And I used passenger assistance. And when I got into Paris, the guy that was helping me, it was a young chap came up, but the guy that had been on the train, like this sort of train manager, he said to me, "Where are you going?" And I told him where you going. He says, because I said, "Oh, can you take me right to a taxi?" But seemingly in Paris, you can't get a taxi unless it's over a certain distance. And the place I was staying, it wasn't that far away. So the guy made the young chap take me and my suitcase all the way to the hotel.
Yeah.
So that was really good passenger assistance.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is still some kind people out there that will help you.
That's really encouraging.
Yeah.
Guys, sorry, Peter's patiently been had his hand up for a while.
Go on,
Peter,
Peter.
do you want to go? I'm just going to unmute you. Hold on.
Unmute you.
There you go. You're unmuted. You're fine.
Apologies, I was about to do that myself. With regards to the airport assistance, I worked for an airline and an airport company in my previous past, and it comes down to either whether, depending on the size of the airport, as to whether the airport has their own staff to provide that service, or whether it's contracted out. With regards to, say, Heathrow, British Airways have contracted it out to ABM, and then the other terminals, they're in Heathrow Airport uniforms, but it's contracted out to, used to be Mighty and a couple of other companies. So it depends on the company and the staff they employ to provide the service. However, with the regional airports, so like Edinburgh, it would probably be down to one of the ground handling companies. And now my parents live up in the northeast. I've been shut in between Heathrow and Newcastle. And at Newcastle, it's provided by the ground handler there, which is Swissport. So, but it can still be that you can have one time it can be a fabulous experience, and then the next time it can go absolutely, totally wrong.
Yes.
So that's the only thing. I can't remember the last time I worked in Edinburgh for a time, but it was many years ago. And I was looking at something with Edinburgh for somebody else with something to do with EasyJet the other week. And I can't remember whether it's just Swissport and WFS, or it's Swissport, WFS and Menzies or something at the ground handlers. So it might be one of those that provides the assistance at Edinburgh. But shall I say, I've not worked in the airport industry for the last 10 years. And of course, everything has changed. And of course, a lot of where the airports used to provide it, it's now all been contracted out because of money situation. So that was the first thing. And then the other lady that was talking about with regards to rail travel, I book, so like today I've come up from London to Durham on LNER, and I booked the passenger assistance through the app, and I had no problems with that. It went to the desk in the middle of King's Cross, and because I was traveling first class, they said, "Are you going to come back to the desk, or do you want us to come to the lounge?" I was like, "No, I'll come back to the desk." Went back to the desk. They took me to the train. That was it. When the the train manager come around on the train to do the ticket check, straight away he saw the lanyard that I was wearing, which is the yellow lanyard that says "Visually impaired, please be patient." And straight away he looked at my ticket and everything, and he just said, "I can see your lanyard. Do you need assistance? Have you booked assistance already? If you've not booked it, I can sort it out and everything. What station are you going to, etc., etc." But same again, it's dependent on the operator. Now all of that will change next year when they all get amalgamated into one firm, you know, as everything gets renationalised. I have had I don't see at this minute, I'm partially sighted but severely low sighted, and I live at an unmanned station, being Chertsey in Surrey, and there's times when I've got to there and I've set off from home and I've been fine, but when I've got to the station I haven't booked it, and I've just gone to the help point, you know, the big white thing, and pressed the button and it's gone through to somebody, and they're like, "If you can wait 20 minutes, we'll get somebody to you to help you onto the train." And they say, "What platform are you on?" And they will come to you and sort yourself out. And then they will load you onto the train. And then they say, "Are you on the direct train?" Like, because there's direct trains and there's indirect trains. And if you have to change anywhere, then they will say, "Okay, we put the gentleman onto such and such seat or in this carriage." And then when that comes into wherever, like if it's Waterloo, then 9 times out of 10 they are there waiting for you. And then because Waterloo is by Network Rail, they will take you and say, are you going onwards by train, bus, or taxi? So, like a couple of times, I've been going to Moorfield, and I've gone out to the taxi rank, and they will basically stay with you and walk you out to the taxi rank unless you've booked one. Or if you say, "And I'm going to go down the underground," they will hand you over to the TfL staff when you go down to the underground. So the assistance is out there. Touch wood, I've not had any bad experiences with assistance on the railways, touch wood. And also going back to the other lady that said about the train line, it's the same with LNER, where once you book it, it will say it's coming to X platform. So therefore, you don't have to rely on basically looking at the boards. And same with all the different rail operators, including network or national rail. When you look at the departure and arrivals tab, and you pop in where you're going, as long as it's at least 10 minutes before it departs, then it will come up and say X platform. So then you can basically, like in my case, there's some days where I'm like, okay to travel without assistance. And then there's other days that I do need assistance. So it swings and roundabouts but touch wood, I've had no bad experiences with assistance going through rail stations and airports at this minute. So
that's really good to hear.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's really, really good to hear. Thank you for sharing.
That's okay. So the only negative thing that I've had was with British Airways, where I booked the flight coming back, and I stated when I booked it, because on domestic and European you get the seat free of charge, as long as you put in that you are visually impaired. And I put in, the drop down what you need, and then I stated I've got no sight in my left eye, so therefore I need to be on a certain thing so that if somebody talks to me, I'm not having to turn my body. And shall I say, I had a thing where they said it was computer done it, but somebody changed my seat, and having to get on a full flight and nobody would move. And when I got to the gate, they're like, "Oh, it's been done by a computer. There's nothing we can do," and shrug their shoulders. And I'm like, coming from working for an airline or an airport, it's just not good enough. And I did that, and eventually I complained to British Airways, and they gave me some miles as compensation. But I'm like, there is times when the experience is let down by where they've contracted out ground services to different contract agencies rather than having their own staff. Because once you get on that aircraft and it's their own staff, straight away it's a different attitude to behaviours to assisting disabled passengers, regardless of what disability you've got.
Yeah.
You know, when you said like you chose your seat free of charge, do you mean like because you're vision impaired? Do you mean like choosing what seat you want to sit in? There's like no extra charge. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So as long as you're traveling, so I've done it with British Airways. I believe, Rachel, you said in the other chat on BBS that, was it EasyJet or Ryanair?
So we've travelled to Australia. We've been all over the country. Any airline, if you tell them you are visually impaired
and you book the passage,
and you book it, we booked because we've just been to Spain, as I say, with my mum and dad, and all four of us got seats, 2 and a 2, so we were behind each other, and there was no cost. And that was with Jet2. I've flown with Ryanair, EasyJet,
Emirates.
Emirates.
So what do you do? Sorry, you
So
just tell them.
Yeah, so when you book your holiday or your flight,
Yeah,
you tell them your vision. So what we do is we tell them we're severely sight impaired or however you want to, class yourself. we've got a cane. Not everyone has canes, guide dogs, etc. But you tell them you need a set seat, you need to be sat together, and they will then they will allocate you seats on the plane with the person you're traveling with. And there's never been any extra charge.
You just pay the normal cost, you don't pay anything.
So you pay your flight, you pay for your holiday. You don't get it free. No.
But no, you don't. If you book the special assistance when you go on the plane, you don't have to pay. So like if you would just like not disabled and you choose your seat and you pay for it. If you have the special assistance, you don't pay, and the person who would be sitting next to you wouldn't pay either, because you need that person next to you to help.
So you get the companion seat extra cost free as well.
Yeah, so we had all, when Rich and Mum and Dad went the other week to Spain, all 4 of us did not pay any extra penny to sit together.
I'm just asking because like the only time I've flown was obviously like when I did that Traveleyes holiday, VI.
So when I'm going to Morocco in October, and I already know that we've got set seats, a 2 and a 2, because there's 4 of us travelling, and we've not paid any extra. And again, when we're going to St. Lucia in December, again, we already know where we're sat, and we've not paid any extra to sit together. Where if we were Joey Smith off the street, an example, and they didn't have any form of disabilities and they were just travelling, mainstream travelling, they would then, if they wanted guaranteed seats together, they would have to pay an extra. I don't know how much it is because I've never had to do it. You would have to pay extra.
Is that the same for any disability?
Yes, I'd imagine so.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Because I know other friends that aren't blind or aren't visually impaired or don't have any sight loss, but they've got other issues.
I'm thinking about, say, if someone was in a wheelchair, for example.
Yeah, hidden disabilities as well. So someone may have autism or ADHD or in a wheelchair, or they've got mobility issues in the legs. Things like that. Any form of a disability, as long as you tell the airline or whoever you're booking with at the time, they can then sort the flights out for you.
Definitely.
Also, what you can do with British Airways, because I've actually signed up for their disability sort of priority scheme. When you book and you pay for your ticket, where like Richard and Rachael said, if you want to allocate your own seats, so say for example, like myself, I don't like traveling down the aisles because I never know how to get back or where we're sitting. I like to be at the very back 2 seats, not too far from the restrooms, so I can actually navigate there myself. But so what you would do is you buy your tickets, then you bring up the map of the aeroplane, you go, okay, we want to sit on this seat. If you didn't have a disability, you would be able to do that, but it would be a chargeable service. So it just gives you that flexibility to book and choose where you want to sit to accommodate you, whether you want to be closer to the toilets or whether you want to be close to the exit. It just makes it easier rather than them sitting where you need to sit and it could be inappropriate, you get that option. So anyone that's traveling, it's definitely worth signing up to priority schemes, or because also you can get on the plane first as well. Just go down to the front, say I'm visually impaired, let them know. They might need seat proof, but if you've got a white cane in your hand, it's pretty obvious. And they just put you at the front of the queue, and then you can board first, and they also give you the opportunity to exit first as well.
And also what I did when we went to Spain in June, when I'm on the plane now, when they come to ask if you need to like they'll come and do show you what the safety things are, like where the life jacket is and where the oxygen mask comes down from. I just make them aware, if they haven't been told, I just make them aware that I can't see. So when they come in past with the refreshments trolley or the duty-free trolley, that they know to actually ask, do we want anything from it? Because we wouldn't be able to see them coming past.
Yeah. And the only time they won't let you book seats if you are visually impaired and you can't open, if you had to exit the plane, you're not allowed to sit in the emergency exit seats. So if you want the extra legroom, which are normally in the emergency seats, as someone who is registered blind or visually impaired, or if you've got a disability, they told me, and you can't freely help exit the plane, you can't sit in them seats, which I do get that. I do get that.
I get
totally.
that. That's the health and safety.
I do get that.
Get that.
Yeah, I do get that. And, you know, again, we flew from London Gatwick last year, and we got the train. So we travelled on the train from Manchester to London, got a taxi to St Pancras, then got the train to Gatwick, and then the staff at Gatwick train station passed us to the airport staff. The airport staff took us to our Premier Inn. We even had the trolley that has the suitcases on it that came to our bedroom for the night. And the next morning they came and picked us up from our bedroom and took us off to our check-in desk, didn't they? It was quite. I've never had that before in my life, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing.
They brought you a trolley at York, though. I'd never seen a trolley. I was like, they've got a trolley for luggage. I've never seen that.
And I think, like Graham said, it boils down to the person that you get, the assistance. If that assistance is good at their job, and nothing against anyone, but if that person's having a bad day or they've not had the right training, then it does boil down to that.
Sorry, guys, we've got Steve has got his hand up. Hi, Steve. You're right.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Just a couple of things. What is this lanyard that Peter was talking about? I've not heard of that before. That's the first thing. And I had to travel across the county a couple of weeks ago. I sort of planned out on the computer where I needed to get to. And then when I got to this station, I found out that the stations that were near where I wanted to go to were unmanned. So I had to then go to a mainline station and get a taxi, which cost quite a lot of money. Because I didn't know what you would do if you end up getting off at an unmanned station. How do you proceed then?
So what I was told was if your journey is to an unmanned station, they are supposed to either send you to the nearest station to the station you're trying to get to, and then put you in taxis or a form of transport. They have done with us. But again, I don't know if it's just down to that station, whether it's across the board in a sense, whether it's like postcode lottery in a sense, where you go to. I'm not sure on that one. When we've used it, if it's been unmanned, they have took you to the nearest station to the station you're trying to get to, and then they've put you in transport from the train station.
Or like for me, before I moved up north, where I lived in mid Wales, the guy would help me on off the train.
That's right, exactly with me at Narborough in Leicestershire, when it was shut after the ticket office shut after 1 o'clock, the staff at Leicester would always say they'd sit me near to the guard, the staff that come out near to the driver, come out when they do the checks, the tickets, and then what they'll do is, oh yeah, you're getting off at Narborough, put the ramp down for you, we'll help you off. We'll get if sometimes I'd forget which door I'm supposed to get out, but that was a normal story of me. And then I'd just walk out the station home. But that does happen with quite a few other train stations that are completely unmanned, or for part of the day they're unmanned.
Just in regards to Steve's question regarding the lanyards.
You can actually get them on Amazon.
You can buy them on Amazon. I think you can get them from VI Safety as well. And I think that you've also got, is it the sunflower lanyard?
Yeah, that's the one I know.
That's the one I've got.
Yeah, that's just more the hidden disability. I suppose if you want to be specific, then it'd be the yellow ones stating it's visual impairment rather than just a hidden disability.
I can't.
Or the Partially Sighted Society sell them as well.
That's what I was just about to say. The PSS sell them, don't they?
Yes, that's where I bought mine from, was the Partially Sighted Society. So.
If you've also got a guide dog, you can actually email the I can't remember the top of my head what the email address is, National Rail, and ask for a card to put on the seat that say that you need an extra seat at the side of you for your guide dog, and you just put it on the table where you're sitting, if you've got a table seat, or you put it on the actual seat next to you so somebody doesn't sit next to you because there's a big guide dog. Sorry, I'm just thinking of an occasion that happened with Nelly, but there you go. There's a guide dog lying across the only 2 spaces across the floor because they need the space. So by putting that down the table on the seat, people recognise that you need the extra space, the gap for the extra seat for your guide dog.
Oh, that's good to know.
It's 8:05.
Yeah, I was about to just
if anyone else has got anything they want to ask before you finish up at all.
If anyone does have any recommendations for the lanyards, or you've ordered one before from somewhere, please do drop me an email to services@retinauk.org.uk, and we'll include that information into the follow-up email. That includes any assistive apps, any apps that you use. You've got the Turn Up and Go if you do use the TfL services, which is another good one to use. I do know I've got the Avanti West Coast accessibility line as well, which is just a free phone number. You can call them up and you can book your travel assist if you're going via Avanti West Coast as well. So if anyone has used one of these services and you've got the number saved on your phone, then please do share that, just in case the community is doing a similar travel destination to yourselves. That will be much appreciated. The more information, like Rachel said, we're better in numbers. Share that with me and I'll get that out into the follow-up email along with the audio recording. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want to just say about the conference, Mark, or do you want me to
No,
share?
feel
Okay,
free. If you want to
so
say conference, I'll let you know about other peer groups that are coming up.
So for anyone interested, Retina UK have a conference every year. They've got the professionals conference on Friday the 18th of September, and then they've got the annual conference on Saturday the 19th of September. It's in Birmingham. There's some amazing speakers this year, which all the information is on the Retina UK website. We've also got the 50th celebration gala dinner taking place on the 24th of October in London. Very lavish affair. Sounds brilliant. Celebrating 50 years of Retina UK and everything that they've done. So they've got that. And then I think you've got quite a few groups coming up, Mark, haven't we? Like different talking groups and local groups in the vicinity.
Yes, so we've got 2 this weekend. So we've got West Midlands on Saturday. The registration links are on our website, and we've also got Berkshire in-person peer support group this weekend as well. And for anyone that is new to our peer support groups, we do have the localized groups. Rachel's Manchester peer support group on the 8th of August at the Ward-Off is now live on our website as well. We will be sending communications out for that tomorrow. We also have the women's on the 28th. So if you would like to join for that one on the 28th, we do have a speaker that's going to be talking about mindfulness. And then moving on into the August, we've got, is it the 12th of August? Well, you've
got the men's on the 5th.
Men's on the 5th. So if you want to come and chat with us guys, which is just a social get together. The 12th, we will be at our Talking Audiobooks group. And then Tyne and Weir on the 22nd, which is going to be held in Newcastle, which starts at between 1 and 7. It's an all-day event, lots of speakers, lots of fun and games, and there's also going to be a buffet there as well, made by Gwyneth Boys, the Blind Baker. And
London and South
and London and South East are doing an event in Stockwell celebrating 50 years of the London PSG group. So please come along to that. That one is a ticketed event. So please check out our website. And if anyone is new and you like the Talking Travel peer support group, then we also have Talking Tech, which is run by Anna and Ellie. We've got Talking Home and Garden, which is run by Steve, who's joined us this evening. Talking Creative Arts is run by Steve. And then we've also got Home and Garden that's run by Brian. So, we run all across the board, from travel, technology, daily living skills, audiobooks. But if there is any other groups that you're interested in and you'd like to know more about, let me know and we can see whether we can get them up and running for you as well. So thank you.
And we also have we have a young persons group, and we also have the national group as well. So anyone wanting information, go on the website for Retina UK. It's all on there. There's a wealth of information. If you need, we have the helpline, we have the email helpline, we've got talk and support service. So if you are new, please sign up. You can get the newsletters and get all the information, and we can all share and just support each other as much as we possibly can. So if nobody has anything else to share, thank you ever so much for joining us tonight. We will be holding another one of these talking travel groups probably in about 2 months' time. We've got a couple of speakers in mind, but nothing confirmed as yet. So as soon as we know, it'll get shared and put on all the different social medias, website, shared out to you on the emails, and we'll be in touch. So thank you all for joining us, and please take care.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Everybody, bye. Bye.
Take care, everybody. All the best.
Sorry, already, Mark.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye. You take care. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Bye.
We hope you've enjoyed this Retina UK peer group recording. If you have any questions or queries regarding its content, or you would like to leave us some feedback, then please do get in touch. You can contact us via a helpline on 0300 111 4000, call the office team on 01280 821 334, or alternatively, you can contact us via email at services@retinauk.org.uk. If you are interested in creating your own peer support group and assisting Retina UK to grow our peer support group network and join our amazing team of volunteers, then please do get in touch by contacting us at info@retinauk.org.uk and speak to a member of staff to see how you can get involved. Thanks again for listening, and please stay tuned for more peer support group recordings coming throughout this year. Take care and all the best. Bye for now.